DT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com /WakeUpCall. DT hanging out here with you inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios. Cafe Kubal bringing you the DT Special Pumpkin Spice Chai at all locations. 3501 James Street, 401 South Salina Street, 324 West Water Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street, and inside of Galisanos Children's Hospital. If you want to try my DT Special signature drink, all you have to do is go to any one of those locations for mobile pickup, as well as, ordering as you normally do, walking in there and grabbing something and either sitting and eating and drinking or grabbing it to go. You can do that at all locations. Get the DT Special Pumpkin Spice Chai today. So make sure that you go out and do that and get all your favorites over at Cafe Kubal. You're watching here on Facebook.com /LiveNowDT. You're listening on mixlr.com /WakeUpCallDT. And it is my true honor and privilege to have Mr. Max White here back on the broadcast. Max is inside of ModPawsPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. You can go there and use the promo code DT20 and get 20% off as you watch your games and have some fun. I'm excited to see the games where SUNY Cortland, those Red Dragons, will be featuring the man Max White. He's coming from the CNS Northstars. Their season has been put on hold until March 1st. And him at the offensive line is a 2021 recruit who has officially, during all of this going on and waiting on the season and all of that, has officially committed himself to SUNY Cortland. I am so happy to have him back on the show. I am elated that he is continuing his collegiate career, or continuing his football career in college, as well as, obviously academically, that he gets to do both. And it is such a great thing to have someone like him in our community. So it is such an honor to welcome him back to the show. Mr. Max, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to get back on the show.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here, Max. And there's so much to get into and so much to talk about here on this broadcast. But, first and foremost, how have you been navigating things? Obviously your season's been put on hold, but you have been able to go to school and have some type of semblance of reality and whatnot. So how has life been going? What can you say about the return to school, at least on the academic side, and what that's been like, what that's felt like to have some type of normalcy, or what you're used to in your schedule to come back?
Well, going back to school, I think was a great thing for everyone because everyone kind of needed to get out of the house. Everyone was just cooped up in the house, and they kind of wanted to do more. Things opening up more helped out the community, and I think it helped out everyone's mental state more because you can only spend so much time in a house before you go crazy. And I think school has always helped me because I'm such a social person that I really needed those interactions, and going back to school, I just kind of picked up where I left off. But it's really different than the norm because, there's only 2 to 6 kids in each class, and there's there's masks so you can barely hear people, so it's kind of weird, but it's better than nothing. So I'm thankful. Yeah, I've been pretty good. But you just trying to take care of the things that I can take care of.
And you described 2 to 6 people in each class. What has that been like for you? What are the normal class sizes at CNS that you're used to, and what you can say about what those normal sizes typically are, and then what it's like to be in a room with 2 to 6 other people.
Well, going to one of the biggest schools in Section 3, the class sizes are 25 to 30. And it's kind of crazy from going to that big class size all the way down to 2 to 6 people. And it's just so weird because you get so much more attention now from all the teachers. And it was just back then you were kind of like a nobody unless you spoke up during class. But now it's just the teachers are on top of things. Everyone is situated. I think it's easier to learn actually in the classroom now because there's not as many kids.
Yeah.
So it's almost even one-on-one with the kids, with the teachers, which I liked, but I don't know. I kind of miss like the energy around like having so many people in a classroom and so many like different friends, and I don't know. It's kind of so different now. It's almost like it's almost like a ghost town going into the school. Like once you get your temperature checked and you walk to class, like silence. It's so weird.
And how often are they checking your temperature, or how often do you have to do that?
Oh, every single day. Every time you go, like, enter the building, they need to take your temperature. And if you pass, like, the front desk without taking your, like, temperature, oh, my God, they pounce on you. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? They get so nervous, which is a good thing because, you know, it's protocol and they don't want to get shut down or anything. But, yeah, you need to get your temperature taken every time you enter the school. But it's not too bad. It's just like a little temperature check, and then you're just on your way. They have like 3 stations for it, like 3 different people that are doing it. Yeah, but it's kind of like nerve-wracking. Like imagine just showing up with like a little fever, not even like having corona, and just like I'm just like nervous. Like what if people like with hazmat suits just popped out and just like act you like that scene from Monsters Inc. where like they just the guy had that sock on him, and then they like a bunch of people with hazmat suits just like jumped on him. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's almost like we're living inside a movie right now. It's just hard to tell like what's reality.
Yeah, you know, and you bring up such a great point, and there's so much, you know, truth to it, which is, you know, it's so crazy that we are, you know, where we are right now, and that things are the way that they are right now. And you bring up the point of like, you know, I mean, obviously, joking but not joking, of you know, like, you know, if I don't, you know, if I have a little cold and it's just an honest cold, because, you know, people forget, you know, and there's also the reality of fudging the data, and, you know, it's like there's corona data, there's flu data, there's sinuses data, there's sinus infection data, there's just the typical common cold data, and it's all different. So, you know, you can't put it all in the same pot. But yeah, I mean, you do, you know, my cousin, obviously, you know, Franny Tortora, Fran said to me, she goes, like, if I have allergies or like the littlest thing, she said, I held in, like, she's like, I didn't blow my nose for 8 hours because she was so afraid, like, that she was going to get, you know, tackled by somebody and sent away packing, so.
It's a big no-no. Like, if you let off, like, the slightest cough, the entire hallway is staring at you. It's so weird. I don't know, like, people just don't understand that there's other, like, sicknesses or, like, other allergies. Like, it's allergy season, and, like, you may, like, let off, like, a small sneeze or a small cough, and it's just like, wow, you have coronavirus, get out of my classroom.
Yeah. You know, and it's so crazy because, I mean, I remember I coughed. I was in a store, and this was months ago, and, you know, and I coughed. I just did it like a, and like this guy looked at me, and I looked at him like, don't tell anybody, no. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm fine, you know, like, I'm okay. I have allergies, and, you know, with the seasons going from snow to 60, my allergies have the potential of kicking up a little bit, you know? So, like, my body doesn't like drastic changes, and thankfully I live in Syracuse where there are none. But, and I'm kidding about that, folks. Sarcasm is something that hopefully we haven't lost in the last 7 months. But the reality of it all, Max, is we are living in this very unique world. I love that you likened it. It means so much to me, and the reason why I feel like we're each other's spirit animal is that monster, like, of any movie you can mention with a hazmat suit, I'm thinking like Maze Runner, I'm thinking like zombie movies, and you're like, remember that sock when it was on that guy in Monsters Inc. and the hazmats came out and got him? Like, you are the epitome of just an awesome, wholesome, cool kid, and I feel that even though we have many years between us, our brains think alike. And maybe we're crazy, Max, but at least we have each other. So,
we got each other.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. Like, who would have known, like, looking back, like, a decade, like, thinking that we're going to go into 2020, like, high hopes, everything. Like, 2020 is our year is being, like, united as America, and then just everything happening. It's just so crazy to me.
It was the perfect storm of it was basically Lemony Snicket's movie that they made with Jim Carrey. It truly was a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
You know, from social justice to everything going on with coronavirus and fear, and then the media playing off of fear as they love to do. And it's, you know, it's just the reality of what is real, what isn't real, what is actually happening, what's not happening, what's going on, what's not going on. You know, I have so many people down in Florida, including Papa Joe, who was just on the show here, and you know, you hear all these horror stories of Florida, but then I talk to all of my, you know, my family and friends down in Florida, and they tell you a different story. You know, it's like, yes, the numbers are coming in, but we go to the restaurant, we go to the bar, we just went to Disney, we just celebrate my daughter's birthday. Like, we're okay. I asked my one buddy, I go, should I come down there? He goes, dude, come on. Like, what are you waiting for? So, you know, it's you know, there's the reality of everything feeling strange, but then how much truth is that, and you know, what can you trust out there, what can't you trust out there? I think people here in Central New York have been incredible at keeping their masks on and washing their hands and being good. Two gentlemen, and I don't know your names, but you dirty, dirty, scummy dudes. Like, they went into the bathroom, and not only like on a normal basis have I seen this, but these guys went into the bathroom and didn't wash their hands and came out of the stall. Lord only knows what they were doing. But it's like, it's so gross, but especially on top of this, with Corona and everything going on, I have seen at least two gentlemen in the bathroom just come out of the stall and walk right out like, I don't care, it doesn't matter. I'm like, dude, even without Corona, you're gross. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, wash your nasty hands. You're gonna touch your kid's face with them nasties? Like, and the thing is, you didn't even just stand at the urinal. You went number dos. You know, you did the nasty. So clean. You know, it's like, you know, you think that people understand. Brush your teeth. Put on deodorant. Wash your hands. But you would be amazed, or maybe not, Max, that people don't always do that stuff. So,
I don't know. It should be a law, honestly.
maybe they should tackle you in a hazmat suit if you don't wash your hands or, you know, put deodorant on or something like that.
Oh, my God. If someone did that in our school, like, right now, I feel like someone would have, like, a bucket of hand sanitizer ready and just pour it on them.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
It's so gross, but you know that's some people, they tell you that it's their right as an American. I would tell you you're gross. So, but I mean, there's rights and then there's nasty. So we're here with Max White today, CNS Northstars offensive lineman, 2021 commit to SUNY Cortland. Max, let's get into it. The last time you and I spoke, you were hoping for an opportunity to continue your career collegiately. You told me, I mean, obviously you have a lot of belief in yourself. I talked to your head coach, Dave Klein, who's a friend of mine, and he loves you and believes in you. And the community just, you know, tells me nothing but good things about you and the type of human being you are. And even if they told me otherwise, Max, I know you're a good kid because I've talked to you. And so, you know, I've heard good everywhere. From people supporting you and wanting to see you do well and wanting to see you succeed. And then I get the news that you are going to play collegiately. You're going to continue your academic and athletic career at SUNY Cortland, which is a school that I had applied to and got into as well. So the Red Dragons, good stuff there. Yeah. And actually one of my buddies from basketball wanted me to go there. And so, and I went a little bit farther away. But for you to choose SUNY Cortland, bring me into it, bring me into the decision, everything that happened, paint the picture for us. And before all of that, congratulations once again. I'm so proud of you. I really am.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so basically what happened is the coach contacted me and, like, let me know, like, he said, you should come up for a visit, blah, blah, blah. So me, my dad, and my mom ended up going up for a visit, and I saw the campus and everything, and I have a couple of my friends that actually play on the team already and go to the campus, obviously. And, you know, as soon as I, like, stepped through the doors of the campus, it was just like, yep, this is the one. It was just, like, automatic. It was just like, yeah, this is the school for me. Like, because I previously got a Division II scholarship offer, and I also had the offer from Utica. But as soon as I just stepped onto, like, the property of Cortland, it was just like, yeah, I don't see myself anywhere else for the next 4 years, like 4 to 5 years, because I want to get my master's. And the coaches, so there was a coach and then a senior that brought me on the tour, and he was a D lineman.
Yeah.
And we went through the campus and everything. I was looking around, and they just like kept talking because I know what I want to do. I know I want to be a physical education teacher, and then I want to end up coaching. And I talked to the staff and everything, and we went through the visit, and they were just continuously talking about how good their physical education program is, and they're like probably like top 5 in the country. Like, it's so crazy that their physical education program is so good, and I just knew that, you know, one day, I feel sorry to say this, but one day football will end and real life will pick up, and you just got to enjoy that job at the end of the day. You got to wake up and want to do better. You got to wake up and want to go to your job. And I just feel like I'll have way more opportunity for my future by going to Cortland. And the athletic complexes are insane up there. They have D1 complexes in their D3 school. And I talked to the coach, and I ended up sitting down with him in his office with my parents, and we talked for a while, and he gave me this letter, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I just wanted to let you know that we really want you on this team, and we really love you, and we would love to have you as part of the team. And he gave me the letter, and he said, you can just read that in the car. We can just catch up right now.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, and I was like, well, I love the school. I love the athletics. I love everything. I love the team. Where do you want to put me for, like, offensive line? Because I'm a pretty big dude, but, like, my height, I'm not, like, 6'5". I'm, like, 6'3", 6'4"-ish.
Yeah.
And, like, usually the taller cats are the tackles, and I was like, are you going to put me at guard or tackle? And he was like, no, we would definitely keep you as a tackle because you're so aggressive. And I was like, yep, that sealed the deal. I was like, definitely. Next 4 years are here. And I talked to him. And, you know, I weighed the odds. I went over everything, and I thought about everything for, you know, a week and a half. And I talked to my parents, and they said, we support whatever you do. We support your decision on wherever you want to go. If you want to play football, if you don't want to play football, it's all up to you. It's your future. And I said, all right, I think I'm going to commit to Cortland. Because previously, like, I just couldn't get Cortland out of my mind. Like, I just couldn't get the idea of playing at a collegiate level and playing in, like, Cortica and just going to MetLife in New Jersey, just so crazy to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're in the NFL going to MetLife. It's so crazy. And I was just like, I know that I have the most opportunities and the most potential at this school. And I know that I have such a bright future coming to this school. Other than, you know, going down to Ohio to that Lake Erie college that I got that D2 offer from.
Yeah.
And I weighed the odds, and, you know, it's definitely an accomplishment and a pleasure to get, you know, that scholarship. But I just thought, you know, I live in New York, and I'm going to go to community school. I'll save money. I'll get a great education. I'll have way more opportunity being closer to my parents, and they can always make every game because they're 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was a no-brainer at that point. And I talked to, like, my friend Trevor and my friend Dalton, and I was just like, I couldn't stop talking about how excited I was just to play football in college because, you know, over quarantine, like, you really learn to appreciate how much time and effort, like, you put into the sport and how much you do miss it when it's gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, don't even think about the other colleges. You're going to go to Cortland. We know you're going to go to Cortland. And I was just like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just crazy. And I called the coach. I texted him previously, and I was like, do you have a minute to talk? And he was like, yeah, of course. Call me whenever. And I called up Coach Fitz, and we talked on the phone, and he was like, yeah, we were kind of crossing our fingers, and we were just kind of, you know, hoping that this was why you called us. And I was like, yeah, I'm so excited to be a Red Dragon. You know, it's just, you know, it's surreal because, you know, growing up as a kid, I was always that big kid, you know. Actually, I wrote my college essay about this. When I was little, they didn't let me play Pop Warner because I was so big. I exceeded the weight scale by like 30 pounds at like 7 years old. And it was just like, they were worried, like, parents literally came up to mine and said, yeah, we're worried that your child will hurt our kids. Because I was, in first grade, I was 110 pounds and like 4'5".
Jesus.
I was always a huge
I'm
kid.
35 years old and I'm 160 pounds, Max.
Yeah, like, I've always been a huge kid, and, you know, it's just like, when I got those words, he's too big, it was just like, I took it personal. It was like, there's no way around it. Like, I know you're doing your job, but, like, it still gets at me. So what I did was I ended up joining, like, a soccer league across from my house, and I played soccer for most of my life, which prepared me and prepared my footwork skills for football and just made me, like, a better athlete. And I could, like, move as a big guy type thing because I was always running.
Yeah.
And it was just like, look at me now. Like, I wish I could see that guy again, just, like, say, you know, look at me now. Like, I'm a collegiate athlete. Like, what do you got to say? Like, imagine if I played at that young age. Like, geez, I'd probably be like, I don't even know, DJ Metcalf. DK Metcalf, yeah. Be crazy. Or like a JJ Watt right now. I mean, I don't know. I put on like 40 pounds since quarantine of good weight. I've just been bulking like nonstop just to get ready for the next level. It's just like everything that I'm doing is just based around like what I want to do, and it's just like no one's gonna stop me.
You know, and that is such an awesome thing, and such a. I love your belief in yourself. I love your your desire to go after what you want and get it and appreciate it. And I'll tell you that it doesn't matter what any man, woman, or child says about you, Max. It matters what you think of yourself. And the fact that you have such respect for yourself, love for yourself, appreciation for yourself, you know, you are going to be successful because healthy mind, healthy body, taking care of you and believing in you. You're the only person that has to believe in you. And I put up a post that I think you saw it, but I like to put up inspirational stuff. There's a lot of inspirational things that move me. So I thought instead of just having inspirational stuff that moves me, why not add some of it myself and hope to move somebody else? And so I put up a quote that I came up with yesterday. I come up with them in the moment for people wondering, but the ones that are mine, I sign. So on social media, if it's on my story and I've literally signed it with my name, it's something that I wrote myself. And I wrote, life is a series of choices. Those choices lead you down paths. Those paths become your journey. That journey becomes your life. Choose wisely. And going off of that, because I feel like we're talking about that right now, what can you say about that? Those choices that you make in life, you know, life is about choices. Those choices lead you down paths. Those paths create your journey. That journey becomes your life. Choose wisely. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I feel like as a person, I've never really taken life like too serious. Like I feel like a lot of people take life too serious to not enjoy it as much. And I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, there's jobs for everyone. There's always plans. There's always a way, and, God has a plan for everyone. And whether your journey starts now or it starts in a couple months or like a year, you'll find your path and you'll go down the right path if you choose so. And I just believe that, you should base your decisions off of how you see yourself and what you believe that you can do, because, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want. And, people will tell you, you can't do that, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. It's not, it's not, like, ethical. And it's just like, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. It's just, you have free choice. It's based on what you want to do. I just believe that, everyone has their, like, it's just like fate. Like, you have your journey and you're going to live it. You're just going to live life. And, you got to enjoy it. You got to, just like that quote, you got to stop at some point and, look around, enjoy the view.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly. You got to enjoy it while you're living it. You can't enjoy it when you're dead. So, the reality of it all is appreciate what you got and make the most of it. We're speaking here with Max White this morning, going from CNS to SUNY Cortland. Any and every person that is chasing their dreams, you have a place on Wake Up Call, you have a place on Superpowered Pop, you have a place on Dan on Disney. Whatever you're connected to, we're happy to have you inside of Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. And I do want all the student athletes to know, as Max knows, that I don't care if you're playing JUCO, D3, D2, D1, or if you're hanging up the cleats and you're doing something else. Every single person in this community, you all have a voice and you have a place, you have a home here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and I hope you know that. Aaron said, my man, so proud of you, Max. Big things coming from Aaron Marie. Greg, who's a longtime listener of the show, Greg Eckert, said, love to hear this as a fellow Cortland grad. It will be some of the best years of your life. Amazing physical education program, facilities, and education. You made a great choice, Max. You won't regret it. And he put a bunch of, the red and black hearts for SUNY Cortland, and he put a dragon out there, too. What does it mean to you to be a red dragon? You're going from a North Star, right? The North Star, the thing that guides your way, to being one of the fiercest creatures that some people believe existed and some people don't. What do you think it means to be a red dragon?
It's kind of weird going from, a symbol to an animal. It's just like, I've never had an animal as my mascot.
Yeah.
But I believe that, to me it means everything to be a red dragon. I believe that, you should be good in school, be on top of things, be good in the community, be an overall, like, just well-rounded person. Like, I feel like when I showed up to the school, I just knew that there was, like, a different kind of vibe, a different kind of, like, atmosphere. And I just believe that, when you go to college, like, everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants the same thing, and they want the same drive, and they have the same drive. And it's just like, I believe that I'll find my people being a red dragon, and I'm so glad that I made this decision, and I just know that I won't regret it. And I just believe that, I'm going to have a bright future up at Cortland, and I can't wait to be a red dragon. I can't wait to go to uni.
Yeah, and that's and it's so awesome. I'm excited selfishly because I'm a fan of Game of Thrones. I love dragons. One of my favorite movie I watched growing up with with my grandmother was about a boy who befriends a dragon. So I think it's really, really cool, and I think it's awesome, and and I'm so happy for you. I want to know if you knew when I put you on my story. And I had the thing of everybody to, watch and listen to our conversation today. The music I was playing in the background, did you know what it was?
Yeah, I did.
So you knew it was the Mother of Dragons music from Game of Thrones?
Yeah, because my brother and my mom loved Game of Thrones. And they would watch it. They watched it all the way through 1 month. Like, they just, like, beginning to like the latest season, and they just kept watching it continuously every day. And I knew the soundtrack. It sounded like so familiar.
Yeah. Well, and I gotta ask you, when did they watch it? And give a shout out to your mom and your brother as well, for the people that don't know their names and whatnot. But when did they watch it? Did they watch it? Because I watched it during Corona, which perfect timing for me to have watched none of it and then start watching it in March and just finish it recently here because I had a little hiatus. But it took me all the way through. So now. When the prequels and all that stuff come out, I'm waiting a very short amount of time. So, so shout out your mom and your brother. And when did they watch it?
My mom is Elisa White, and my brother is Mitchell White. And my brother actually is CNS alumni, and he did track and field when he went to CNS. He graduated in 2013. But my brother and my mom watched the series, I think, last summer, and just completely just watched it all the way through, and the last season left them on a cliffhanger, and it was just they were what? They were just so mad, and it was just I don't know, it's just so crazy how animated the series is, and how advanced in technology with animations and stuff movie productions and TV shows have. And it was just so wild to see dragons in the air, and people being different kinds of creatures and stuff just roaming around. It was just so cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome, and I love that you knew it, because it was that subtle love to Cortland on the story and whatnot. But then the other reality of it all is, that I love to support wherever and however I can into all of the wonderful people here in Central and Upstate New York. Have a very special place in my heart, and I love it here. This is my home. So. I'm going to ask, and you can feel free to say no, and I'll find one anyways. But is there a chance that Max White can hook me up so I can wear a shirt or a hat in love and appreciation for you of Cortland? Is that in my future?
Oh yeah, definitely. I might have to hook you up.
Because I will rock the Red Dragon hat proudly. I've been able to talk to some coaches there. And now I have the opportunity to support you there, and because you're not that far away, hopefully in the not too distant future, things are starting to get back to a positive and safe and healthy atmosphere, and I can be out at those games. But yeah, man, if you have anything SUNY Cortland you want me to rock, I will proudly be a Max White supporter, because I already am. But Red Dragon, there's nothing bad with some Red Dragon stuff as well.
Yeah, the thing about my mom is you could ask Coach Klein. She buys everything in bulk because she thinks, because I'm the baby. Yeah. So it's the last hurrah for everything. Yeah. And it's my mom bought 4 practice jerseys, 10 practice shirts for just this year for the school, and we don't even know if we're gonna have a definite season or not. Yeah. And my coach was like, Jesus, your mom bought the whole thing. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, my mom loves me, I guess. And it was just so funny. But yeah, definitely. We'll have extras. My mom, I feel like my mom's just going to go crazy on the Cortland website and just buy everything. And
I'm
I'll definitely get you a hat or a shirt or something.
Yeah, man, I'd be happy to rock that for you and support that. I tell people all the time, coaches, players, I say, wherever y'all go, if you want me to shamelessly plug it, I will. And I have no problem showing support to the people I care about and the people of this community, especially for all that you do. I'm on the website right now looking at their stuff. They got some pretty awesome stuff. I just love the fact that I'm like I said, a Dragon fan, a fan of Game of Thrones. I drink Red Dragon from Rain Energy. And now you're going to be a Red Dragon, so it makes perfect. It's perfect unity. Maybe God was showing me where you were going to go. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm so I know you and I have only talked a couple times, but Max, you're such a nice kid, a good kid. You want to see people come together. You're positive. You're this tough football player, but then you're like this really fun-loving teddy bear guy too.
Yeah, everyone's up with that.
I want to say thank you more than anything that, you're just a beacon of hope for the future of this world. I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I try to, I just think that you should just, spread love and, positivity because, everyone's in a hard place right now. Whether it's, it's a really small thing or a big thing. Like, we're during a pandemic right now. People are struggling. And I just feel like, by saying, like, hello to, like, a kid that you don't, like, talk to, like, a new kid in the school or, like, sitting down and eating lunch with someone that just doesn't have anyone to eat lunch with can change someone's life for the better. And I just feel like, I just feel like there should be more positivity and hope in the world because sometimes, I worry about, this generation and this generation's future sometimes because, we're not like how it was back in the day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What are your biggest concerns about, this generation in the future?
I just feel like going off of what I said, like live in the moment, enjoy everything and just don't take life too serious. But I just feel like, kids take life like, I don't know, like it's kind of meaningless sometimes. Like everyone's life is like matters. Everyone's life has a story. Everyone's life has a journey. And then there will ultimately be an end. But I just feel like kids are too focused on, making dumb decisions because you're young. And I just feel like, we might have lost a couple brain cells during the transfer of the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing is you are somebody. I think every generation, has the people that hope and believe and will do all that they can to help. And then we have, inevitably in each generation, there's people that are on the other side. They don't care. They're aloof. They, there's a quote from The Dark Knight with Christian Bale and when Michael Caine played Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Bale, Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's trying to figure out the late great actor that we had here playing the Joker, Heath Ledger, and Michael Caine says to him, he says, some men can't be bought, reasoned with, or negotiated. Some men just want to watch the world burn. And it hit me so much because there's things that happen in life that I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I understand peaceful protests and I understand problems in society. I don't understand rioting and looting and having an election in America where we're boarding up our windows like we're some half you-know-what country with a bunch of just, I mean, boarding up American businesses during an American election is the opposite of what America was ever supposed to be. And so I can see the sides of like, things are wrong in this country. There's racism, sexism, and prejudice. There's people that are Catholic and Christian that don't feel respected and loved and can't say God here and can't say God there. There's Jewish families that have felt disrespected and left aside for, for ages upon ages that were trying, there was a group that was tried to be eradicated from the world. There's people in the black community, there's a Hispanic community, there's women, there's people that just don't feel appreciated. And then there's like Caucasian white men that are like, hey, not all of us were slave owners and we're not all bad people. And it's like the grouping of anybody in life is a bad decision because when you group people into a mass, just like everybody in this group is the same, that's never true. And I think that
forms bias.
Right, and it forms bias, and bias forms hate, and hate forms violence, and I think that in the world we live in today, rioting, looting, pillaging, setting things on fire, I feel like it makes us look like uneducated, animals to
Yeah.
the world, and that's white, black, blue, brown, man, woman, child. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're stupid, you're stupid, and
Exactly.
it's just the reality that there are white people that are doing horrible things. There's black people, there's brown people, there's blue people, there's men, women, and children that are making decisions that are very dangerous. And the question that I ask people in the world we live in today is, does burning down a building, does burning a building, punching somebody in the face, attacking somebody, screaming at somebody, spitting on somebody, yelling at somebody, kneeling on somebody, does any of this make the world better? And if you're mad about the murder of one person, you murder another person, the only thing that can ever defeat hate is love. Violence only begets more violence. So I ask the world today on this platform with somebody like Max, who is a fun-loving kid, and so am I, how do we do anything other than love each other from here forward and establish the fact that you're not racist, prejudiced, or hateful if you say stop setting things on fire?
Yeah.
And there are the irony of businesses that during social justice riots, there were businesses that were burned down and completely annihilated that were black and Asian business owners during a riot of social injustice, which is the definition of irony. It's like you're having social justice to say things are wrong and the black community needs to be appreciated, and you just destroyed a black business owner's livelihood. So, I don't understand what running into Target and taking a television is going to do to make the world a better place, but I do know that conversation and love and walking together. I tell people all the time, you want a peaceful protest with me about something that I believe is wrong and you believe is wrong, let's do it. But if you ask me to, put on a gas mask and burn down a building, I'm not going to meet you there. And I don't understand how tearing down ever builds anything up. And it's a scary world we live in today when no matter who wins, there's the threats of violence, rage, and just like a really bad movie playing out in a country that's supposed to be a beacon of hope for the rest of the world.
Yeah, an eye for an eye makes the world blind.
Yeah.
If you take and you take and you take and you don't give, it's just like, what do you have? After a while, it's just like the whole world's going to implode and just everything's just going to go like down the drain. It's just like, I feel like we're at a standstill in our country, and we can either go all the way good or all the way bad and just keep going down and downhill instead of trying to rebuild everything as a community. And as I just believe that there aren't races. Like, when we keep talking about like African Americans or Caucasians or like Asian families, like things along those lines, like, should we really be talking like that, or should we just be talking like just the human race, people?
Yeah.
And I just feel like people section off different kinds of like races and different kinds of like types of people, and it's just like, we're all alive. We all have the same organs. We all have like the same, like, basically like average lifespan type thing. Like, we're all human. We're all on this earth to make it a better place instead of just tear things down. And I totally understand what you're saying. Like, peaceful protests, those are great. Martin Luther King Jr. with his peaceful protests, like, changed the world for the better, brought equality into the African American community. And it's just like, after a while, it's just like, why are we doing this for, like, when there's riots and everything like that? Like, it's just like, I don't understand, like, what you said. Like, I don't understand what setting a burning building, like, on fire is going to do for anyone or any race or anything. Like, it's just going to do nothing except for cause, like, havoc. Like, it's just going to cause more and more destruction, and we're not going to build up from that.
And I think we see, countries around the world that have resorted to this, and we've always said in America, thank God that's not us. But but now it feels that way, and I just, my and you brought up Martin Luther King Jr., which I think is fantastic, and my hope and my prayer for this country and for this world is that we can live, we can wake up, we can go to sleep in a world where a black parent doesn't have to tell their child a special rule in dealing with the cops, where a parent in general doesn't have to wonder if their kid's going to be alive when they leave the house. I think all that's happening in the world right now and in our country right now is that, I'm 35 years old, but my mom might be more afraid for me now than she ever was, because she's like, well, what if he goes down a street and they're flipping cars? And, and so I think violence has never solved anything. Hate has never solved anything. There has been over 400 years of going in the wrong direction and dealing with the black community, and that needs to change. There is, reform that needs to happen within our social justice and, our justice system in and of itself. But the people that protect our communities, that are good people, need to be respected and appreciated. And I have people in my family that are police officers that are incredible human beings. And so there's just so I sit here in my studio and I just kind of, it gives me a headache saying, like, I'm a kid. I'm always going to be a kid. I'm 35. I got my whole life ahead of me. You got your whole life ahead of you. And we should be talking about football and this, that, and whatever. We shouldn't be talking about racism, because that's not something that should be acceptable. We shouldn't be talking about sexism. We shouldn't be talking about prejudice or inability to practice your religion, whether you're Jewish or Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu or Catholic or any type of Christian. And I just don't understand why, as a broadcaster, I have to sit here and say, media, stop sensationalizing and pushing things, because because you creating a story could cost somebody their life. And I don't feel good about, and the people that are grouping people, and we have people, our election's going to come down to, both sides suing each other. Like, it just feels like a really bad Jerry Springer marriage gone wrong, and that's not what it should be here.
Yeah, and the thing with the election is, it's like we're trying, it's like they're trying to badmouth each other to the extent of, he's more acceptable than the other one, or it's just like they're attacking each other so much that it's like, what are the good things coming out of this? What are they doing good, instead of what are they doing so bad? And it's like people focus on what is bad instead of what people are doing for say our economy or America. When you vote, we're voting for our country. We're not voting for the person. We're voting for our country, for our future, for unity. We're not voting for that separation. As a country, we've always been that stand-up country. We've always been the savior in other types of countries and stuff, and everyone's always looked up as the land of the free and home of the brave. You know what I mean? It's just we're so separated instead of together and united as we should be.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, we should be able to wake up in a place where everybody's treated equally, everybody's got an equal opportunity to go out and live their dreams and do what they want to do. I mean, the last time I checked, we the people was all of us, the rights to, health, happiness, and to me, health, happiness, and safety. But what do they, they what do they say? The pursuit of happiness and all of that. And so, it's just, and it's something that needs to change. It's not a pipe dream. I want people to understand it's not a pipe dream. I'm never gonna be quiet until people in the black community feel safe. White people, white community feels safe. Hispanic community feels safe. Asian community feels safe. Women feel safe. Men feel safe. Kids feel safe. I'm not gonna shut up until I feel that this world is treating everybody equally with an equal opportunity, because as I said before, and I'll say it again, the coronavirus didn't discriminate by color, race, creed, political party, religion, money, status, power. So if a virus, which is disgusting, did not discriminate, then are we less than the virus? Are we more disgusting than a virus? Are we more ruthless than a virus? Or are we better than that? The virus didn't discriminate any of us, so how can we discriminate against each other? AIDS, HIV, all of this stuff does not discriminate. Cancer does not discriminate. Are we worse than cancer? You know what I mean? Are we the worst virus that's on the planet? Is that what we want our legacy to be? Or do we want to be a legacy of peace and prosperity, of hope and a bright future, of what Martin Luther King Jr. did say when he said that he wanted people to be judged on the content of the character and not the color of their skin? So I only look at people individually as who they are. I could care what color, what size, shape, creed, background, what political party. I don't care what any of that is. What I care about is how you treat people. And what I appreciate the most about people like you, Max, and I'm happy that you're in my community, is that you treat people well. And you came on my show, and the first time you were ever on my show, you beat the drum and talked about how awesome teachers are. And it's so cool to hear a kid talk about how much he loves his teachers.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know, the thing is, like, if you take a brown egg and a white egg, or if you dye an egg and you crack it open and you put it on a pan, they all have the same insides. Yeah. Just like people and races. It's just like everyone's the same. It doesn't matter, like, the color of the skin, the ethnicity, like, the sex that you are. It's just like, if you're a good person, then you should be treated well. And I don't understand why people aren't. And it's like, during this election, like, everyone's political views are different and everything, and it's just like, I'm not going to put my friendship on the line with someone that I love just because they support someone differently than I. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not willing to lose lifelong friends over an election that will be not talked about in like 4 years.
Well, yeah, and they said that 4 years ago was the biggest election of our lives, and they told us this year it's the biggest election of our lives. So,
yeah, biggest one.
You know, and so it's just it's crazy. So my hopes is that things just continue to hopefully get better here in this world. And no matter what, Max, you know, I'm happy that there's people like you in this world that love and they care, and you have values. And you know, I'm so happy that you have the opportunity to go to SUNY Cortland and to become a Red Dragon. Do you know anything about CNS football at this point? Is there any other news that you can tell us?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like COVID really knocked everyone on their butt. It's like, we don't really know. Like, it's like the coaching staff and the kids don't, like, we know just as much as, like, the fans and the people that ask. And it's just like, whenever someone asks, I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, you know? It's just like, I know that I'm going to go to the gym every day. I know that I'm going to get as big as possible for college. I know that I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to take care of the things I can take care of. And, you know, if I have a senior night, that's great. If I don't, what a shame, you know? And it's like, it's just like everyone's so clueless on what's going on. And, you know, as big guys, we have to touch each other to, you know, do our job. We have to hit each other. We have to, like, throw each other to the ground to do our job, to protect our quarterback, to do the thing that we do. That's our job as linemen. And it's like, during this pandemic, I can't block you and not, like, think I'm going to receive COVID. It's just like everything going on, and, you know, Cuomo doesn't want to pass, like, volleyball and football through, and it's like, I don't know, it's hard to keep hope, but, you know, that's the only thing we have, hope and faith through these times.
Yeah.
So I really hope come March 1st I can put on a set of pads and just walk on the field and, you know, pick up where we left off with my brothers.
Yeah, and my hope is that you get the opportunity to do that as well. And obviously, with SUNY Cortland on the horizon. So with that being said, Max, 3 questions, rapid fire, an opportunity for you to put me on the hot seat. We did it before. We'll do it again. I have no idea what you're going to ask, but I leave the floor to you. What 3 questions do you have for me today?
Well, this is a hard one. You caught me off guard.
I did.
What was your first interaction with football as a kid? Like, at all, playing catch or anything? What was your first fondest memory?
I'd probably say I was a huge Dan Marino Dolphins fan, and so I would say that my friend Anthony Caruso, his mom works at the Gap, and she made me this like spray painted sweatshirt that had a Miami Dolphins helmet on the front, and on the back it said Tortora 13, which I thought was really cool. And so that was one of my first memories. Also, my buddy getting me a New Orleans Saints football was the first football I ever got. And I asked my friend, Matt Olmstead, I said, Matt, why did you get me the Saints? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I saw it and I thought of you. And I've always, had a connection with, faith in God and all that stuff. So I thought it was cool that it was the Saints. So that's always had special meaning to me. So I'd probably say those things.
Really?
Yep.
Are you a bike or a runner? Or, like, are you a bike kind of guy or more like a runner kind of guy for cardio? Because I know I've always liked biking.
Yeah.
I'm flat-footed.
Yeah, I'm more flat-footed too, and so I guess riding a bike and whatnot. I have to actually get my bike, my bike that I barely used. I mean, I used it and then I stopped a while ago when my dad has it, and so I do want a bike, but I would have to say jogging and walking and all of that now, and because that's what I do. So I would have to pick that for now, but I just recently, ironically, was like, I got to pick up my bike. So that is on my mind.
All right, one last question.
Yep.
So I know Cortica's all the way out in New Jersey, and it's between Ithaca and Cortland. If I start, whether it's, freshman year, sophomore year, whatever, will you come up if I get you a ticket?
I love that question. My answer is
if COVID's not around.
You start, you're playing, whatever it is, and you say, Dan, I got a ticket for you. I don't care what I have planned that day. I will be there. You have my word. You have my absolute 100% word. If I am physically capable, you know that I will be there.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah, there is no doubt in my mind. You didn't even have to ask, but I'm happy that you did. So, yeah, if there's a ticket waiting for me from Max White, then you can punch that ticket and book it however in advance you got to book it, because I am 150% honored that you would even think of me, and so I would absolutely be there in support. Absolutely.
Definitely. I love it.
So
Can't wait.
That coming from Max White. You heard it. I'll be at the game with him. Appreciate everything as always, Max. We talked about so much today. To everybody that listened and watched, it is such a frustrating thing, and I found myself just rubbing my forehead being like, my God, because it's just so much. But, if we don't work through it, then we can't get past it. And if we don't get past it, then we could drown by it. And I love this world. I love the people here. And I love everything. Color, background, creed, nationality, political, I don't care. If you're a good person, you're a good person, and you can eat dinner at my table. So, Max, thank you so much for all that you've done. Thank you for talking about football, but also the bigger stuff in life with me, and for being one of the people out there that's really trying to put a smile on people's faces and to keep one on your own. It can't go understated how important it is to have people like you in this world that are good to themselves and good to others. So I want to say thank you for that.
Thank you so much for having me on the show again, and I loved every bit of it, and I'm so glad that we met, and we're each other's spirit animals now.
Yes. We are both spirit animals and both dragons. So
Indeed.
I think it's awesome. So I will definitely keep in touch with you. I'll talk with you soon and rummage through the 763 pieces of clothing your mom got and see if you could find something for me.
All right, sure. I'll let you know.
All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
See ya.
Take care. That kind of God bless. That coming from Max White here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We'll take our final step aside of the show and wrap things up right after this.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecubal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you find your way to the Millhouse Market, but before you do that, download their app on the Apple app or Google Play Store. The Apple or Google Play app will give you an opportunity to have the entire menu at your fingertips, from their salads to all of their specialty sandwiches, their brick oven pizzas, their breads, their desserts, as well as their salads, their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, and so much more. Find your way to the Millhouse Market. Order on the app, contactless pay, and you can drive right up, stay in your car, pick up your food at their drive-up window, and head on your way. So thank you to the Millhouse Market for making it easy, keeping us safe, and being absolutely tremendous in all of your creations. Their customer service and their amazing flavors are what makes them so incredibly, incredibly special. And then at a time where we have needed the help of community most, they've stepped up and become even more of an asset to us, not only in Pulaski, but in Central and Upstate New York. And, in my opinion, in our world, seeing good people do good things. Millhouse Market, 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every time. With that being stated, I want to thank you all for listening in to today's show and watching today's show on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You have been watching on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT. You have been listening on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, and we'll be back here on Friday for TGIF, as well as every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time outside of holidays. And, of course, you can search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and find our show on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, and you can find the video versions of the shows, of course, on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. I want to thank all of our incredible partners in Central and Upstate New York that help make our community truly amazing and loving and just overall awesome. Cafe Cabal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, and Canine Campground Dog Boarding. Avicoli's, use the promo code online to get 10% off of all of online orders by using AVS10 at myavicolis.com at checkout. That's AVS10, promo code on myavicolis.com. Chick-fil-A, Cicero, Honda City of Liverpool, Millhouse Market, Trapper's Pizza Pub, and, of course, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn. maandpazpopcorn.com is the website. They're located on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. You can use my promo code to get 20% off in-store pickup or delivery at maandpazpopcorn.com. Use the promo code DT20. That's DT20. So, with that being said, I want to thank Papa Joe for all he's done, and Mr. Max White for all he has done as well. And a congratulations to him on becoming a Red Dragon with SUNY Cortland and wanting to continue to have his North Star career with a hopeful season starting on March 1st. With all that being said, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We talk about everything here on the show. It is where sports meets life. I know we are drained. I know we are stressed. I know we've had enough. And I want to tell you that faith, hope, love, community, positivity, jogging, walking, praying, healthy mind, healthy body will get us through all of this, and we're better together than we ever are apart. Please don't ever judge somebody by things that they cannot change. Their color, their beliefs, who they are inside. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, like their faith in God, their sexual orientation, their nationality, right? What their blood is and what they really care about. Love people for who they are and open up your door and your dinner table to everybody. You would be amazed how enriched your life is when you open yourself up to everybody and how much you truly be missing when you don't. So please, please, please be good to each other. Please do not riot. Please do not have violence. Don't resort to hate. Please, please, please understand that breaking something doesn't make it better. A lamp doesn't turn on when you smash it. So if you want to be a light in this world, don't break the lamp, and be good to each other. Please, I ask that of you, and I pray that God watches over us all and lends their helping hand today and always. So with that being said, connect with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com. Find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, Twitter at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. From the Cafe Kubal Studios, I bid you a fantastic day. God bless, no stress, do your best, and I'll talk to you soon. Be well, everybody. Take care of yourselves.